Of all the games I've streamed besides Destiny, which has been my favorite and why? It's an interesting question. I feel there's a lot of games that I've enjoyed for a multitude of reasons, whether it's the community on Twitch itself, whether it's the game itself, whether it's the skill cap. I'd, I would like to think that H1Z1, when I first left Destiny, the very first game I switched to was H1Z1 Battle Royale, and it had such a high skill ceiling. It was incredible to play. It was fun to watch. There was so many clutch moments, and I think that H1Z1 was really the game that made me realize that I can play things outside of Destiny and enjoy it just as much as well as building a community at the same time. What inspired you to start streaming? So, when I first got out of the Navy, I worked as an overnight security guard, and I worked in an elderly community at the guard gate, so there was a lot of downtime, and I worked all night shifts. So, my brother had recommended one day that I watch Twitch. I had just gotten into Destiny, had only been playing for about a month, and I logged onto Twitch, and the first channel I ever saw was Gigs. Back then it was Giggle Monster, and he was doing double carries and trials, taking people to the lighthouse, and I just thought it was so cool how so many people wanted to not only watch but participate. They wanted to be a part of it. They were just in shock at how good he was, and they were so grateful to be able to go to the lighthouse for the first time, a lot of them. And that moment, I said, you know what? With my passion for gaming, with my skills at Destiny, I think that streaming might be something fun to do. So I went home from work that night at 6 in the morning, hooked my Xbox up at 7 a.m., and that was the first stream ever right there. What goals have I achieved that I'm most proud of? There's so many, and to really have to limit it to just a couple, I guess. Charity. I've been a huge proponent of doing charity work, whether it's for St. Jude, ALS Foundation, Battle Buddy Foundation, StackUp.org, um, the anti-bullying foundation that Princess Diana founded before she passed away. But I think the charity work that my community has done as a smaller streamer, as somebody who's never really broken like 150, 160 concurrent, I think the fact that my community's done over $100,000 in charity work is by far the thing I'm most proud of. I've been able to get a group of streamers and friends, and we've been able to, as small content creators, make a huge impact on Twitch doing charity work. So I would have to say that that goal for me, to raise $100,000 for charity, is definitely the most proud moment I've had in my streaming career. Who am I today? Today I'm just the same goofy bearded guy that started streaming Destiny 4 or 5 years ago. The same guy that's passionate about helping everybody, making sure that everybody has a chance, making sure that everyone can find happiness. If you don't have it in your IRL life, hopefully you can come onto Twitch and you can, find a place in a community, somewhere you always feel welcome, somewhere you can vent, somewhere where you feel like you can kind of escape and just really have a group of people that are really caring. I am the chief of content knowledge and development at GamerSups. I took a full-time job with them recently. So today I'm not a full-time streamer anymore. I'm a part-time streamer, a full-time grinder, hustler, and at the end of the day, the person I am today is a person that wants everybody to find happiness no matter what they're struggling with, what they're dealing with. I just want everyone to be as happy as possible. How has it been adjusting to the transition from full-time streamer to full-time employee of GamerSubs? What are some of the positives and negatives of this transition? It's a lot, and I think a lot of it has to do with perception, right? So obviously some of the biggest changes and adjustments were I was streaming 80 to 100 hours a week, and now I'm streaming, 30, 40 at most. Um, but the adjustment's been great in a lot of ways. I have more security in my life. I'm not as stressed mentally all day, I don't have that need to feel like I have to game for 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours a day, 100 hours a week, 400 hours a month. I have to get to this sub number. So it's been very positive in the fact that I've been able to enjoy my time on Twitch more, been able to enjoy my time away from Twitch more. I have that security now where it's really helped out in a place where I feel like I can improve as a content creator because I don't have the stresses of being full time. The negatives, obviously, I feel like over 4+ years of streaming full time, that I built a huge community and I built this great family of friends. And some of the negatives, that goes away when you stop streaming full time. People that are looking for everyday enjoyment go elsewhere, which is okay. But it's also allowed me to spend more time on Twitch. Now I get to the office, I get into work, I turn on Twitch in the background, I get to say hi to my friends, and working with Gamer Subs, I've been able to connect with more content creators. My entire job focuses around content creation and meeting new people, bringing new people into the Gamer Subs, the GG Army. And it's been very positive in the fact that, like I said, mentally I feel better. I joined Gamer Subs, joined the gym, dropped 30 pounds, and it's been really positive, more ways than negative. I'd say the biggest negative impact I've had is just, again, missing the stream, feeling like a lot of that work is being torn down. But it's all about a rebuilding process in a different direction. What do you love the most about streaming? For me, streaming comes down to just getting to interact with so many people from across the world. I have people I consider great friends that I've only met once or twice, or maybe not ever, but we've been able to forge such a good relationship via video games. Having the same passion, the same drive, and just meeting people from across the world from all different walks of life, races, religions, sexes. It's been so cool being able to meet and talk to and just bond with people of a similar passion. So I'd have to say that's definitely the thing I love most about streaming is you never know who you're going to meet, you never know who you're going to run into, and you never know who you're going to help. There's a lot of people on Twitch that just turn Twitch on as background noise just to distract them, and they might be going through something and you can help them and you don't even know you're doing it, which is I think one of the coolest things. How long have you been streaming? Have you ever thought about quitting? If so, what made you push through and keep streaming? I have thought numerous times about quitting streaming. I started for a little over 4 years ago. We've been partnered for almost 3 years now. And there was tons of times where I thought about quitting when Destiny was getting stale and I tried to transition to other games and my viewership dropped by 90%. We were holding 150 playing Destiny and then we started playing H1 and we were holding 9, 10, 12. So there was a lot of times as a full-time content creator where I thought it was time to quit, move on, maybe reconsider some options. And what pushed me through was just remembering why I started. When I got out of that, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to hold these numbers, I really got back to the core of why I started streaming, which was just to help people, help people that maybe couldn't do something in a game themselves or help give somebody knowledge so that they can do it themselves. And that's what really helped me push through. My community was extremely supportive. They said, "Hey, if you need time off, take time off. If you need financial help, let us know and we'll help you out." And I've been very blessed to have such a great fan base and such a great community. So yes, there's tons of times where I thought about quitting when streaming became kind of oversaturated after the affiliate program. A lot happens, right? You have a lot of viewers that become streamers because the affiliate program's a thing. And at that point, it hurt my numbers even more while I was already trying to transition throughout different directories. So yes, I've thought about quitting many times. It's not easy, but anything you want in life, you have to go for it. You have to fight for it. And if it's something that you're passionate about and you truly believe in, you can always, always find a way to persevere. So yes, if anyone has those thoughts of quitting or you don't know what you want to do, you need to take a step back, look at why you started. It always has to come back to the beginning. Why did I decide to do this? What gives me the passion for this? And why do I want to continue doing this? Who do you look up to in streaming? There's a lot of people across my journey through Twitch that I've looked up to that I've tried to model myself off of and tried to, really change the way that I do things. The biggest being Gigs. Again, I said it earlier. He was the first stream I ever watched, and he just had such this great energy to him, right? High level gameplay, but very entertaining. Always responsive with his community. So that was somebody that I looked up to, and I still look up to this day. 5 years down the road. Annihilus is another one. She was the second stream I ever watched right after I watched Gigs, and the way she's built this community, this family, where people are so excited to get into her chat and hang out with each other and talk to each other is something that I've always strived for, is building a community where even if I'm not live, they want to be in Discord and they want to be talking to each other. They want to know how each other's days went or what they're doing and how their life is. So that's somebody, the two people that I've looked up to massively over the years. The third, and probably one of the most important, would be Dr. Lupo. Um, we all know that Dr. Lupo is the undisputed king of doing charity work. I mean, nobody does charity work like this man, and it's something that I really want to do. I've always felt that before my time on this earth is done, I want to leave a huge impact. And watching Dr. Lupo just strive and pull people together from all walks of life and be able to raise hundreds of thousands, close to $1 million in 4 hours, is my biggest, biggest role model. Is just that's what I want to do. I want to find a way to change the world in a positive way. And I don't need my name on it. I don't need it to be fancy. I don't need to be remembered when I'm gone. But I just personally want to know at the end, when it's all said and done, that I made a big difference. And Lupo's been a huge role model in terms of showing that you can be a family man, you can be a content creator, you can be an entertainer. But at the end of the day, we can all fight to make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form. Do you think VR will become more common in the next 5 years or remain on the outside looking in? It's an interesting question, and I don't have too much experience with VR. I've tried a few VR things at TwitchCon and PAX, a couple conventions. For me, VR is just not something that I necessarily am very passionate about. But I do think VR is going to have a place, and a lot of people use video games as an escape, right? We use them to forget about stuff we have going on in real life, or to forget about stressors, or our bad day at work, or our breakup. And I think VR really offers an opportunity for people to submerge themselves into this world where they can connect with people and they can feel themselves. They don't have to worry about being judged or being bullied or being looked down on. So I think VR will have a big place. I think there's still some work to do on it, but I do believe that VR can be great and has the potential to really, really make a dent in the space. But my only worry with VR is that people are going to use it and abuse it. They're going to use it too much. They're going to really get sucked in to this virtual world where you can be anything, do what you want. And my fear is that people might stop dealing with emotions and feelings and things in their real life because they know they can just escape into this alternate reality, right? So I do think VR will become more common. I do think VR has a lot of promise and potential. But my worry for VR is that people might get overly indulged in it and then start forgetting to take care of themselves in their everyday lives.